we're always improving based on client feedback. Everything is so driven by client needs that we really listen to that. Each job, there's different aspects to it, challenges. So that's what keeps it, the variety there. And so I'm not doing the same thing every day. You've got new challenges. And again, you're always developing new products. By the time it hits, we're working on the next thing, which is really nice. It keeps the variety.
Welcome to Workspace Design Lab, the show where architects, interior designers, and workplace leaders explore the future of workspace interiors. Each week, we dive into ergonomic office design, modern workspace trends, and sustainable furniture solutions that improve well-being and performance. I'm Silvana Vanderpark, and together we'll uncover the stories, strategies, and innovations that help you design offices that truly work. Let's dive in. Darryl McCracken.
Hey.
Okay, hey. Darryl McCracken, product manager. I was doing calculations. Is it 33 years?
It is 93, so 32 years.
32 years that you've been with NovaLink.
Yeah.
I just remember you came in and was it the Smith shirt or maybe it was the Cure shirt or something like that.
Right.
And I was like, he's alternative. That's cool. Yeah, it was like good taste. So I was like, I like your shirt.
Yeah.
So wanted to let you know that you were in with okay people.
Right. Exactly.
So you came to us, listen to me, I was like 15. You came to us. So you came into NovaLink after you graduated from school.
Yeah.
And you went to?
I went to Humber College and I took industrial design.
How did you get into industrial design?
I guess probably sort of art and creativity in high school. Art was my favorite. I was into, summer jobs were like for carpentry and kitchen cabinets and building things. So that I knew I wanted to get into design. So then what I did is I took a 1-year course in design foundation. So I got a bit of photography. What else was there? Graphic design, industrial design, those types of things. And then what I did was that just kind of led me into industrial design. I didn't know what it was before I started the design classes. And so the main thing there was like 3D stuff, product design. And one of the biggest things that I liked about it was a lot of it was problem solving. So it was kind of, industrial design was giving a set of tools to be able to design a product, by assessing what you need to do, assessing the scope, the problem, what are you setting out to do, and then being able to put into practice, a set of problem solving skills to come up with a solution. So to me, that was a big appeal to the industrial design and the product. So
you kind of, in a way, fell into it.
Yeah, it wasn't my initial target, but it was just exploring all the designs, what appealed most. So I'm really glad that I took that foundation because in high school, I really didn't know, what the path was, right?
Yeah.
So,
sure.
Yeah, that worked out well.
Yeah. Did you like any particular, like you did cabinetry work and stuff like that? Were you drawn to furniture or were you drawn to other?
Definitely. I've always worked with my hands. My dad worked with his hands. And so it was just something that was natural for me to want to create things and build. And I've done, basic furniture, through high school. And then working with kitchen cabinetry, again, it was just kind of, the whole building process really appealed to me. So
you came in and I guess, you started out, I guess, with the engineering group.
Yeah, I started down in as a detailer. And what that did is it allowed me to basically use my CAD skills that I learned in college and basically just took all the details. And there was a big demand here for updating details. And so it was just, straight CAD work. You just churn through the details, do your updates. And it just allowed me to sort of learn the product quickly as I went, as well as, polishing up my CAD skills and getting better that way. So then after that role, I eventually moved up to engineering manager. And that was just through, putting my head down, working hard. And it was recognized by management. And they said, you would work well in engineering management. So that was the next stage. That got me a little more involved in the production side of things in terms of understanding what we can do here, the ins and outs of the machinery, all that kind of good stuff. And then after that, then I moved to product manager. So, and I think product manager was really more my design background that allowed me to sort of come up with solutions and work with Tony, being the design director and Tony having, a great design background as well. It allowed us to sort of have a good relationship and do a lot of product development. So that was, again, a natural to move into sort of a product development role there. And then up until today, now operations manager. So now just over the years, 30 some years, I've seen all sides of the business. I've been involved in it. So that just kind of all fed into being able to, be able to see these different departments.
Be where you are now.
Yeah, exactly. So
good timing for you to know exactly how to do everything and run everything. What aspects have you enjoyed the most from, say, working in this field of the furniture and specialized furniture? And
probably just the variation. We're always improving. We're always continually, based on client feedback. Everything is so driven by client needs that we really listen to that. And, each job, there's different aspects to it, challenges. So that's what keeps it, the variety there. And so I'm not doing the same thing every day. You've got new challenges. And again, you're always developing new products. By the time it hits, we're working on the next thing, which is really nice. It keeps the variety really, and I guess the other thing that comes to mind would be just the whole mentality of making it right for customers. That's something that's driven down by Tony, and it's something that I really respect. And I think, that's something really nice to be able to work within and, offer that when you're working with someone, be able to look them in the face and, tell them that we'll take care of them. And so that's a real benefit, I find.
We've got company backing to do it. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I guess turning to designing workspaces that adapt and last, first point that I wanted to speak to was how modular furniture supports evolving workplaces. Just thinking back to 33 years, I mean,
yeah.
Trying to remember what desks looked like. I think they were still CRT monitors, probably at that time.
Yeah, for sure they were. Yeah, a lot of even the little square Electra homes and things like that. And yeah, huge monitors, CRTs and that type of thing. Yeah, I've seen a lot of layouts over the years, and the common denominator always in a big successful layout seems to always be simple as best. I've seen extravagant layouts that try to, big arcs and big complicated triangles and things like that. And quite honestly, you just lose so much space. I mean, that's speaking about the amount of people you can get on the floor, but it's also for the flexibility of what you can do tomorrow with that space. We've done floor plans before and big circular things, which look great. Depends on the building too. But a lot of the times the architects we work with would have in the back of their mind, well, I know I can take this space and I can turn it into rows, which is going to maximize my floor, for tomorrow, if need be. That's, architects that are thinking ahead, that works out well. But yeah, and columns and things like that are always a challenge in floor plans. But, if you can plan around it and, it's just as simple as best.
Yeah, and it keeps the costs down. less parts and kind of junctures and
Yeah. And it's something like our furniture, the building blocks that we like to call them, they're so conducive to reconfiguring and doing single rows that you can simply add desks onto the back to make double rows. You can just omit a desk for a column. It's pretty flexible in terms of the basic blocks that are all sort of pre-assembled and pre-packaged, and to reconfigure them, you're basically taking the worktops off, the monitors off, and then you can unhook them with plates on top and move them around as you like. So yeah, that's something, as I said earlier, we really try to listen to the architects and the clients and learn from every occasion what works, what's needed, what makes it easier for them, designing modules that will fit through doorways, that type of thing. We try to be always, in touch with that, so that we know if you've got a room that you've got to move a few desks into and it's a single door, well, our base modules, you can actually walk them through the door. You don't have to take the things all apart, and spend a day doing that.
Hey, quick pause. Have you ever felt like workspace design is one big puzzle with too many missing pieces? From budget questions to practical requirements, it can feel like guesswork. That's where NovaLink steps in. We bring you a clear product and a proven process backed by a team with the know-how to guide you step by step. No confusion, no overwhelm, just clarity and support from start to finish. If that sounds like what you need, scan the QR code or check the link in the show notes. Now let's get back to the episode. Or ship them in multiple pieces and spend the day having to put it all together.
Exactly.
Right. So, that was with the beam system, and then now we use more of the frame systems now. I don't think we rarely ever use a beam, spec a beam anymore.
More so legacy now. Yeah.
So it's as complete as possible, but within the dimensions of the doors, like you said, and elevators and such, and stacking capabilities if you're shipping overseas. Design strategies for long-term flexibility.
Yeah, that still kind of leads into the building block thing in my mind. What we've done with the latest series is we've designed it all to be, I would say, 90% pre-assembled and pre-wired here at the factory, so that when it ships to your site, you can basically use handheld bars that you can engage the furniture with, get it off the skid and move it into place.
Right.
Then you're looking at worktops and monitors again to be up and running. Using those standard blocks really takes away the sort of the tailored days of the past where you had to build everything from scratch, which served its purpose. But now we've just, we understand, spaces now are different than when they were in the past. A lot of clients have a high likelihood of reconfiguring or moving to another building. So that means a lot to people when you know you can pick up the desks and actually have them moved somewhere else, and you're not cutting wires and pulling wires and because that can be troublesome.
I remember there was for the height adjustable desks, we would do the single operator desks, and then we would have like the head trader desks, which were basically two work surfaces now programmed with one switch, so you had double the width of a desk. And we could change those up wherever on the trade floor, which was a neat.
Yeah, now one of the things that you can do as well is with our base modules, you can put different size worktops on the same base module. So what we've done, we've tried to minimize that base module to take care of the business it needs to. And you can set it up on day one with a 5-foot work surface. And then if you go to reconfigure, you can actually just change it to work surface, and then that base module will support, 84 inches wide with a very minimal turnover.
Yeah. So I tend to think, I think I make a mistake of thinking, with our system is more kind of structured now for various sizes.
Yeah.
And the modularity isn't as wide open as with the beam system that we used to have.
Right.
But I think you still have incremental pieces to add.
Yeah.
And then you can still, and it all snaps kind of together, for lack of a better term. And the work surfaces really can be placed anywhere along that spine system still.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, and I always remember I thought, well, for ladies who are pregnant and stuff like that, you can do a special work surface for them with a cutout,
Exactly.
when your stomach gets too big. And so little kind of like creature comforts or little details like that that do, stretch out an installation. And, we just did that reconfigure in New York. They had reconfigured at least one or two other times because they had put like a bullpen, and then they wanted to switch back because they were going to be bringing everybody back into the office again. So, and I thought it was cool that they did that without having to purchase any new furniture. So,
I mean, the longevity obviously plays feeds into the flexibility and the future functionality and sustainability is we've had we've had installations that have been in before I started and, that are still running today and have been reconfigured and refit. And so, that's a really nice part of it.
It is. And so the heaviness, I know certain designers, clients say, oh, we just kind of want cheaper and cheerful so that we can change out and refresh and have that kind of house cleaning feel. But, and you can do that to a certain degree with finishes and stuff like that. You could get new work surfaces if you want with this year's colors or something like that. But your core is still there. You don't have to recable, go to the expensive recabling, like you said.
Yeah.
Which leads into the last point, the cost benefits of adaptable systems.
Yeah, some of the obvious benefits there are the reuse factor. A lot of projects you can reuse the base units, and as you said, redo the trim pieces, reconfigure it, and then a project becomes more of a reuse or a refit status versus a brand new, which is a different ballgame for a lot of people. There would be less downtime. Client that I was just meeting with a couple of weeks ago was considering the furniture, and they said, this furniture comes in, and you can have a desk redone in 3 hours. And to them, it was a critical 24-hour, 7-day-week operation. And they said that makes the world of difference because that means that they can reconfigure and do things within certain time frames, which it just gives them that capability, which a lot of furniture systems won't. They're not conducive to. And so therefore you've got to live with whatever you got. So that was a big benefit there.
Just to talk about the structure of the furniture too, it's heavy gauge. It's a solid piece.
Yeah, since I started, we've been using the same materials for the last 30 plus years. Structural pieces in 11 gauge, 14 gauge. The lightest gauge that we use is 18, but they're built to last. We've had questions about floor structure,
the weight.
Yeah. So you get your money's worth.
And the pedestal, everybody would always say, or they call them R2D2s in some of the Latin American countries, that, they're so expensive, but they never fall through. And we've had, we've seen some competitors with the bottoms.
Yeah, no, there's installs downtown in Toronto that are 30 plus years, same drawer units.
Yeah, original drawer units. They do. They're worth the pennies. And the other thing, just going back a little bit, I guess it covers it, is all the componentry, like you said, it's been the same materials, and the database that you keep.
That's right.
So you can recreate.
Yeah, we keep all of our job files for every single job that we work on. So we have the details and drawings for every custom part, whether it's 30 years ago or not. So we can recreate parts because we fabricate things. So we're not into hard tooling and manufacturing in that respect. So the same sort of toolbox that we have in the plant, with the stampers and the press brakes, etc. They're all the same techniques and they're all the same materials. So that allows us to create anything that we have in the past. Again, within reason. I would say 95% to 99% of products we can produce again.
Yeah, I think it just depends sometimes on the finishes, right? If they're available, exactly. Like the laminate and stuff like that. So things that are outside of our control.
That's right. Anything that's within house, though, we can still do.
Yeah. So it means like all those old layouts, all those old installations or older installations are still relevant today. So they don't get phased out. Yeah.
Exactly. And if there's an old install from 20 years ago, we can go into that job file and we can see exactly what's there. And then we can always look at that in terms of a refit and what it will take to supplement it.
What's the first kind of memorable job that you remember?
The financial, the big floors. It's probably, Bank of America, Merrill Lynch.
Bank of America, yeah.
Those are probably some of the first.
You remember,
some companies that were controversial now. Energy companies that.
Yeah. Are no longer here.
That's right.
So no, just it's nice to kind of think about all the product going back, and well, I guess you've seen changes in the series. At what series point did you come in? Was it System Pack at that point, or was it
Series
do you remember?
2? I guess.
Okay.
It would have been System Pack, yeah.
So it was with the concept of of a system that had componentry as modular and so that has been consistent throughout your time, and now we've gone through. You came in at Mill Tower, and then we moved to Century from there, right? And now to Guelph, or was there something in between?
No, that was it. Yeah,
because you weren't at Dunwin, right?
No.
Okay. No. Remembering all the factories and stuff. So good memories, all the people.
Exactly.
All the fun. So
that's
great.
Okay.
Thank you.